Welcome to the Steps to Employment video series, and thank you for joining me today. In this Steps to Employment video, we are going to talk about polishing your interviewing skills. Preparation is the key to any successful interview. You should prepare for your interview days before the interview is scheduled to help you reduce stress and worry. You can never prepare too much, but be careful not to overdo it. We don't want you worrying about forgetting something. In this video, we will discuss how to prepare for the interview, important tasks on the day of the interview, differences in virtual or in-person interviewing, and appropriate follow-up actions. Research is a big part of preparing for an interview. Use the internet to look up information about the companies you are interested in working for to learn what services or products they offer, their mission and vision, and how your skills could contribute to their goals. Also, it is good to know who the company's competitors are and what the history of the company is. Next, be sure to review your job description. Determine what skills you will be bringing to the job that align with that job description. Understand and recognize where you may have some areas of deficiencies. Stress your ability to learn new skills quickly as a point of strength. Come prepared with questions that you have thought about the company or the job for which you are applying to clarify those questions about the business or job requirements. You can also ask about their corporate culture, such as how would they define their organizational culture. Be sure your resume aligns with the job description. This may mean you will need to update your resume with skills you need to highlight. Most interviews begin with the hiring manager asking the applicant to describe their skills that align with the job description. You have about 30 seconds to make a positive impression with your elevator speech, a quick overview of your skills and interests. Identify some short and long-term goals that you are hoping to achieve either personally or professionally. Avoid speaking in complex words or industry-specific jargon, and practice enough that you come across naturally, and also share a bit of your personality. Understanding verbal and nonverbal cues will help you during the interview. Though we all speak and communicate our thoughts and feelings with words, how we respond nonverbally or through body language can send a very different message. When using verbal communication, follow the recommendations on the left side of the slide. The employer may use words such as list, define, or differentiate concepts. Listen actively to understand how they wish you to respond to their questions. Make sure you use appropriate pitch and volume. This will help you come across confident while speaking and help the employer understand you clearly. Always respond promptly to questions. If you're not sure how to answer a question, pause, gather your thoughts, and then answer. If you're not able to answer the question at that time, ask if you can come back to that question later in the interview, or ask them to clarify further. Never leave a question unanswered. Be clear and concise and avoid giving complex answers. Be honest and never embellish. Be yourself and try to bring a little humor into the interview if it's appropriate. Nonverbal or body language is important to think about during the interview as well. When you walk into the room or you're sitting in a chair, be natural. Don't be stiff or tense. Show interest in the interview. Show enthusiasm and convey high energy. Lean forward when speaking. Be careful with hand gestures. If you're a hand talker, it can be distracting. Maintain eye contact at all times. Always look at the hiring manager or panel as you answer their questions. Relax. Breathe deeply to ease the nerves. It's okay to be a little nervous. Everyone is. Smile and nod when you agree with something the interviewer has said. This helps to maintain rapport during the interview. Lastly, take notes during the interview, including when they answer a question you have asked. One of the key things you can do to prepare for the questions you anticipate you may be asked during the interview is to use the STAR method when demonstrating your skills. Think of a past experience and describe it to the employer using the STAR technique. S. State the situation or problem you experienced. T. Identify what the task or objective was in the situation. A. State the actions you took to meet the objective. And R. Describe what the result of your actions was. This can be great proof and evidence of what you can do for the employer and set you apart from other applicants. There are many types of questions hiring managers use in an interview. They may select either skills-based, behavioral, or situational questions. Let's talk about each type. Skills-based questions are directly related to your experiences using tools and technologies and are more practical than theoretical. Hiring managers want to know if you can take a concept and translate it into action. Another type of question is behavioral questions. These questions show your aptitude and approach on tasks and directions and usually reveal a job seeker's soft skills like attitude, motivation, loyalty, and work ethic. Some examples of behavioral questions they may ask you are, tell me about a time when you have handled conflict within a project team in the past. Or describe a time when you took initiative to solve a problem in a past job. Finally, situational questions are questions that are hypothetical or scenario-based, where the hiring manager is looking to see how you may react in a specific situation within the office or work site. This allows the hiring manager to observe your instincts, decision-making skills, and problem-solving abilities. Questions you could expect might be, how would you react with a dissatisfied guest or customer? Or how do you prioritize deadlines that are due at the same time? On the day of the interview, be personable, be yourself, dress professionally. It is better to overdress than to underdress. Be on time. If possible, arrive 5 to 10 minutes early to get settled, but avoid being too early. Exhibit a positive mindset. Do your best to phrase comments in a positive way and avoid talking poorly about a previous employer or job experience. If you do need to reschedule an interview, call and confirm that the hiring manager received your message. Do not just send an email and assume that they received it. The way of in-person interviews are slowly morphing into more online interviews. As a result, make sure you have the necessary technology in place for a successful interview. Virtual interviews allow you to use a smart device, such as a tablet or smartphone, or a laptop or a desktop. Any one of them will get the job done. You also want to make sure you have a headset, a mic, and a camera. You may need to download and install free applications to participate in your interview. Some of the free applications for download are WebEx, Zoom, or Skype. Well before your interview, test your tools. Do this with a friend or family member. Make sure they can hear and see you. Never wait until the last minute to test your technology. The last thing you want to happen is to have technical difficulties. Finally, the last thing to plan for is to set the scene where you plan to do your interview. Make sure the space has minimal distraction, a simple backdrop with neutral colors, and ample lighting. Now let's talk about follow-up. Make sure you follow up. It's critical, and most employers do not receive emails or thank you notes. But send an email or a thank you note within 24 hours of the interview. Check on the status. Wait about a week before you check on your status to contact the employer if you haven't heard from them yet. And last but not least, and most importantly, evaluate your performance. What did you do well? What would you have done differently? This will help you not only evaluate this performance, but help you help you in future interviews. So in conclusion, remember, interview preparation includes reviewing sample interview questions online, develop answers using the STAR technique, research the company and the industry, plan on what you will wear, check your equipment and lighting if you're doing a virtual interview, and practice with a friend or a family member to get more practice. Thank you for your time and attention. I wish you the best of luck in your job search. I hope these tips will help you feel more comfortable and confident when interviewing for what may be your next job.